Spawning on the left-hand side in the blue trunks, it is going to be Team ArthasS. So we have Andy Lindy playing the Jaina, BKB is on the Tyrael, SebKR on the Tyrande, that is going to be ZW Hydra on the Tassadar, and in the bot lane, Unstable is on the Valor.
And on the right hand side of your screen, all clumped up as a 7-man unit, we have Coco Brown there on the Sylvanas, Nomi on the ETC, Glucosa on the Malfurion, Grulum on the Falstad, and across Olaf, Balog and Eric we have Frieza on the Vikings, and Balog doing a little bit of scouting there to start things off. Does spot a few players at the watchtower, then backs away rather quickly. And I like this Sylvanas push coming in down into this bot lane. They're going to try and get this one tower down very quickly, but Nomi actually taking a lot of damage there, as Andy Lindy coming down isn't going to try and force this one. They're just going to play safe under those towers, but they didn't get as much as they expected from that initial push with the Sylvanas.
Indeed, and they're backing out now. We're seeing Glucosa taking a lot of damage. He's in full retreat. SebKR drops a bit of damage onto it, and we do see Nomi get taken down.
We do, and that's a really bad timing because the chests have spawned as well. That's going to be 5 coins here for the side of ArthasS. Although Coco Brown may look to come in here and steal a few. Glucosa is going to get a root down here. Balog actually fell, but Unstable gets snared up. One more! There it is, going down onto Valor. The Lunar Flare will stun up Grulum, but now SebKR is out of position. Nomi coming round as well. He's going to power slide past. Face melt SebKR out of position a little bit more. And that's going to be a dead SebKR as well.
Yeah, this is one of the most action-packed early games we have seen so far. And the thing is, even though, kill-wise, they have all... In fact, no, they've come out on top as well. We are, in fact, seeing Cast Aside come out on top in kills and XP because of Vikings.
Yeah, we do indeed, as BKB again going aggressive down in this bot lane. Jaina fell elsewhere on the map. I believe Nomi got that one. And now gonna get 5 coins handed in there. Frieza has 1 on Eric, and then we have 3 on Coco Brown as well. So if they grab 1 pirate camp here, they have exactly, well, they have enough to get their first hand in and deal some damage off onto those structures. Nomi again scouting ahead in the fog, as they're now going to start a push here again. They do, however, power slide past onto Andy Lindy. The Envenom comes down as well. That was a lot of burst onto Jaina.
Yeah, Jaina getting completely taken down. Unstable also getting rooted, but not taking too much damage. He's on his own with the defense now, and this is the first time I've seen the 4-man bot lane. We've seen the 3-man before, back in the days of the Protect the Hammer compositions.
They were fun times.
They were very fun times, but I've never seen the 4-man such aggro push before. And just purely relying on Frieza with that Vikings to basically do everything here.
Again, I believe Well Met were one of the first teams to utilise Hammer effectively.
I believe they were.
I remember Well Met.
I believe it was that and Playing with Pain is Pain also did it quite a lot.
Yeah, I remember Bakery saying how he had a 100% win rate against...
He did, and then the first time you told me that, we were casting him and he lost.
Yeah, and he did lose. I remember watching, I think it was Wildmat's first game in the first season of the ESL Major League. They just sat hammered down here in this bot lane of Blackhearts and just went to town.
Yeah, the Protect the Hammer compositions, it did happen quite a lot. Having a look at some of the talents though, Tyrande with the Searing Arrows talent, just using herself as a rage damage dealer. Frieza gets away with Balog. Towers down here, mostly out of ammo, so we're actually seeing Well Met get a bit of a ArthasS get a bit of a counter push here. Talking about Well Met, get the wrong name.
No, Frieza. But of course, SebKR on this Tyrande, the owl just missing, and the Cone of Cold.
They want it.
They do. These Syrian arrows, though, they're the specialist kind. They're the stronger version of this talent. Of course, you get the standard searing attacks on people like Valor and Rhaegar, but Tyrande, she gets the special version. It's a lower cooldown, and I believe they do slightly more damage.
It's 40% on that. We'll find out when Valor takes hers, because she will take the talent. 50%.
Okay, it's less,
so
but shorter cooldown. Oh no, same cooldown.
It's a level earlier.
Just same cooldown, less mana.
Yep, same cooldown, less mana, and at an earlier level. So, and yeah, we did just see Valor go down this bot lane. This bot push still happening right now, and top lane's been completely neglected. So the longer this goes on, the further ahead Cast Aside are going to keep getting.
Yep, they're already a level ahead here, and with this Sylvanas trait going down onto these structures, they're going to get a lot of XP taken or just from grabbing them. Olaf did die, but they're going to swiftly move Balog up into that top lane to soak the XP from there. So they're still soaking 3 lanes while having 4 players down in this bot lane, getting complete control of this chest. They're giving 5 coins here over to Nomi. They have 6 in total, and again, they're going to start re-sieging this fort.
Very much so, and this is just a huge problem for ArthasS at the moment. Just getting pushed in really hard. The Tyrande and the Jaina have been doing their best in terms of split pushing. They're finally able to take down Eric in the top lane. He actually dropped a coin, so they're trying to get some split push, but now Olaf is back, and he's up to soak that lane.
And we're going to see Heroics come in very, very shortly for the side of Caster's side, and Olaf even looking to trade there a little bit with Unstable. Pings are going down onto this Bruiser camp, but Heroics are now here. Pretty standard. There's of course the stage dive, expecting to see the Hinterland Blast out of Falstad. There it is, the Longboat Raid, the Wailing Arrow, and of course the Tranquility for Malfurion, standard across the board. They now have roughly, probably what, 90 seconds to try and seek out a fight here before ArthasS hit level 10.
Yep, need to just get in as quick as possible. ETC is in the bot lane, sneaking out that easy camp though, so not unlikely to see too much aggression. We are seeing Andilendi and ZKR though getting into this top lane to defend as much as possible without getting picked off.
Yep, and they're going to start this siege as well. BKB using his Elduin's Might just to blink back underneath the tower.
Have we spoken about Andy Lendy's talent choices here?
We have not. We also haven't spoken about BKB's level 7, but Andy Lendy going for that Frostbolt build. Now, there it is. That's a lot of burst coming out from the Envenom of Andy Lendy there, and the Judgment. That is a dead Falstad. You do not want to be frontlining on that.
That's one of the quickest eps I've ever seen in terms of burst damage. Like,
yeah.
Usually there's a wind-up, and stand a chance.
Yeah, because the distance was so small, but there's the stage dive coming in. Starfall being used just to try and slow this down. BKB is last man up here. We won't see a rotation just yet as the rest of the team are getting a hand, and he is going to use his Elduin's Might. He is able to get mounted up, but this top fort is going to fall, and this mid fort's going to go down as well because of this turn-in, whereas the mid one is all the way up because of Tacida's Mule.
Yep, Tacida's Mule means that fort will go down next turn-in, but it is going to take a lot more shots than it would otherwise. We're now going to see the team of Caster side start taking this boss because they can. ArthasS are so busy on the rest of the point of the map. They do take down Jaina, did go down somewhere. I think that was in the bot lane. But this is going really well for Caster side at the moment, and a team that I have definitely not seen before other than Nomi really, really doing well in this match, using the Vikings to the best effect that they can.
Yeah, it's working really, really nicely for them. In fact, let's take a look at XP total. You have the Vikings on 12.6k there. Sylvanas is in fact on roughly the same, so she's been sitting down in that bot lane for a good amount of time. But on the flip side, Tacida just has just above half of that of the Vikings and Sylvanas. Pretty interesting stats right there.
Yep, very interesting indeed. Having a look at healing, and this is what I was quite interested about. The team of ArthasS aren't running a dedicated healer, and because of that, we're seeing Tyrael, Tyrande, and Tassadar all with similar amounts of healing, which add up to just a little bit over Malfurion on the other side. So they're spreading the job of healing amongst the entire team.
Yeah, and of course, with that amplified healing talent as well, any heals that go down onto the Tyrael are increased by 30%. Now, that's quite a significant amount, especially once Tyrande hits that level 13, gets that overflowing talent, and then the heals that will go on to Tyrael will just be insane. But here's the stage dive coming in. It's going to go on to Hydra. He is going to dimensional shift out of there. Lendy gets absolutely bursted down. Nomi Power Slide now there. BKB getting hit as well as Unstable by that Hinterland Blast that came through. Strafe being used just to deal some damage as they kite back. The Longboat Raid doing so much damage to ZW Hydra. And there is the Tyrande Lunar Flare just to stop them coming even further. But now they can get a really nice siege going here. They do not have enough coins to hand in just yet. This will give them 11 in total. They're now 3 short. They are going to try and just get these ones secured. But as I say, that chest spawn, perfect timing.
Yep, they're going to be taking that down. Falstad flying to the top to get that chest as well. Having a look at some of the talents, while these teams do just grab the chests, or I say these teams, while Cast Aside grab both of the chests, we do have Icy Veins coming out of the Jaina here. And does not get rooted. BKB, though, is in a good position to deny any more turn-ins, which means there won't be a full turn-in coming out of Caster side for a little bit, seeing as all their coins are currently on the Falstad.
Yes, they certainly are. And you mentioned the Icy Veins there. Activate to make your basic abilities cooldowns recharge 3 times faster and reduce their mana cost by 50%.
Spam the Ice Lance build? I'm liking this quite a lot, but isn't there another Ice Lance talent on that level, or is that next level?
I'm not sure because we don't see it.
Yeah, I know there's at least 3 Ice Lance talents.
There's one, I believe, at level 4 where it penetrates the first target, hitting up to 2 targets. But of course, Envenom does a lot of damage there, and you don't want to miss that burst. Especially when you have the Tiro, like we saw as they engaged onto Falstad in that top lane.
Quite possibly indeed. So, for now, we're just seeing Frieza with all his Vikings grouped up, clearing out this mid lane, while the rest of his team grabs out that hard camp. ArthasS did respond by taking their own hard camp as well, so not too bad there. And ArthasS aren't too far behind, but the game is starting to get to late game. We've already seen ArthasS lose that one fight with the Vikings, and it's only going to get worse as the game goes on. They're looking for their picks, though. Their pick strategy has been working quite well, but the fact they're not doing it often enough is what is losing them the game.
Yeah, they have to do it whenever Judgment is off cooldown. They need to be in a position to engage and get that first pick. And then if the odds are favourable for them, follow up on that fight. Although this could be a nice pick for them onto Frieza. Now would be a great time for them to engage, because that longbow would be so much weaker without Eric that if they get a pick on, say, Sylvanas or onto Falstad, then the team fighting potential of Caster side would be very, very weak. But they do have that 16 talent advantage over ArthasS right now, so engaging isn't the best.
Very much so. And you mentioned the longbow being weaker. That is only in sense of health. Its damage is not affected at all, so the Vikings can stay in that longbow at the back of the team fight.
They just don't have as much zone potential.
Exactly, so they can't just roll forwards and not give a crap. However, Eric's already back, so it's not going to make too much of a difference. Falstad, just flying to turn in, him and Nomi will be able to turn in without too much difficulties here. I think the owl's already been used.
They have 15 coins, they need 16.
This is true, I miscounted that. BKB coming in to deny. They are a bit late. Frieza coming in with 1 coin. He is unfortunately 1 short, and the owl will deny him that anyway. And now we're seeing team of ArthasS begin to group up. Get ready, Valor.
Stage dive!
Stage dive coming in, does not land on anyone. Stun immediately turned around on Wailing Arrow, does not actually hit anyone. Turnaround is happening. Lightning Viking Longbow is down. BKB takes a full hinterland blast, but no one dies in that, and that's actually the best fight that ArthasS have taken so far, due to the fact that no one did die. However, Gruulem going for the full turn in now. Owl will deny in time, along with that multi-shot. They're able to prevent it, but in comes Frieza onto unstable, dealing a bit of harassment damage. And looks like they're trying to get a fight here. Stun lands onto Coco Brown, but in comes the stun out of ETC. We're seeing a lot of Vikings get burst down quite quickly here. ETC has also gone down. ArthasS in a pretty efficient fight for once. Hydra is on the wrong side of this, though. Dimensional shift to get back, but he lands in the root. Stun lands, though, onto Coco Brown. He needs to get out of there as quick as possible, but he does go down along with Malfurion. And Gruulem turning around, trying to get some harassment damage down, but Andy Lendy is on the tail. Can he pick him off? Ice Lance, and it looks like Gruulem is just going to be able to escape. Oh, no!
Oh! Commentator's curse right there.
Commentator's curse indeed. Full wipe coming out from ArthasS.
And there's that 16 talent. Northern Exposure is going to be the choice for Jaina there, as the Dimensional Warp talent came in just in time for Tasta there, but was a little bit unfortunate in the fact that he did come out into that snare and end up getting bursted down. They are, however, going to go for this boss instead of the chests here, which more or less gives a free turn in for the side of Caster side right now.
Yeah, we actually have the least efficient person at clearing waves, currently clearing waves inside the ArthasS base in the form of Tyrande, followed very closely by Nova, but currently Tyrande holds the record if you don't use heroic abilities, because Nova can, in theory, take an explosive talent to actually help clear the waves a little bit quicker.
Yep, as they do. They do now scout out Nomi. He is taking those chests, or that chest down there, securing even more coins. They're currently sitting on the 6 that Nomi has. Falstad is taking away the Siege Giant camp as well, which would suggest they want to gain some control of this bot lane, take these Siege Giants, then potentially rotate down towards their hard camp, but instead they're just going to back away from that one and defend the boss, which is pummeling away at their top gate.
Yep, Vikings focusing that down already along with Coco Brown. And they're going to be able to clear that out without too much difficulty. They lose their gate, but they should be able to kill this before it takes the tower.
Yeah, they will indeed. So they didn't actually really gain too much XP from that boss take, but the Bruiser Camp is up just in time for them to grab this one. Not sure quite where that owl was going.
Just looking, just in case. Seeing if they were heading to turn in, probably. Because that's probably the best angle to check. And we're actually going to see ArthasS make their way up to the turn in as well. And we were talking about late game strategies here. This is the one level that I think ArthasS have a bit of an advantage. In fact, they have their 2 Blood for Bloods, they have the True Shot Aura and the Northern Exposure, so they have all of their vulnerables, they have all of their damage. Yeah. So this is the level that they're going to have an advantage. However, once it gets to 20, it's definitely going to go back in favour. Oh, Freezer, there's the shot to close the stun. Yeah. Very nice there. Yeah, for now, we're seeing a bit of an advantage for ArthasS, but if this game keeps going and gets all the way to level 20, which it almost definitely will, I think we will go back in favour of the team of ArthasS. We will have to see, though.
Of course, you get that Storm Shield, you get the Hardened Shield, and speaking of it, there it is, the stage dive coming in. Wailing Arrow hitting on 3, but BKB's going to get bursted down, as is Nomi. A lot of coins on the floor here. Ice Block coming out from Glucosa there. Freezer is in the Vikings there, dropping very low in that longbow. But he will be fine. The healing ward being dropped as well in the back line. Lunar Flare missing everything, but Strafe now being used. Eric goes down. Freezer's other Vikings may look to fall here as well. Grulham trying to get some more damage going back down, but that was a 1-for-1 and a bit trade in favour of ArthasS, and they're about to hit level 20 as well here.
Yep, stun does not land. They're continuing to push, though. Like we said, using their slight advantage in terms of their current builds as much as they can, just continuing to push this forward. Do not want to get caught out, though. And Grulham taking a bit of extra damage there, walking himself back into that blizzard. He's actually going to be out here just to make sure he gets everything back. And we're seeing both teams in full retreat here. There is a hard camp pushing in the top lane of ArthasS, so they're being back to defend against that. And the rest of the team going to deal with some mercenaries. Everyone is back alive except for BKB, but he'll be alive in 1 second. So it's just a question of now farming up to level 20 for ArthasS and then trying to win a team fight with that Ragnarok and roll and the rest of the talents that they're going to be taking on this level.
One of the problems ArthasS are going to face, though, is that ArthasS, they have 14 coins. They can get a turn in here. But can ArthasS fight them 19 to 20 in such a small space where...
I think they can get 20 before the turn-in happens. We are seeing ArthasS group up, but they're currently busy clearing waves.
They're going straight for the turn-in.
Yeah, I thought ETC would actually head to this top lane a lot quicker to try and farm the XP, and like you said, they are going straight for the turn-in. They have 8 coins here, here comes the 10th, and there is the rest of them that they need, and currently ArthasS not reacting to this. ETC is split pushing, but he's not actually getting any XP out of this. So it does... no, he's getting XP, but not very quickly because he isn't pushing very hard. However, he might now...
BKB, nice move from him.
Yeah, BKB rolling in. They're going to see the team of ArthasS ditch this and move back. They do not want to fight until they have 20. ETC will get them that level 20, and then we'll probably stage dive for the engage. Where is it? It's so close. Turn in.
No, ETC backed.
He bead. Okay, that's a bit
but there it is. There's the level 20 coming in. We have the Storm Shield, Ragnarok and Roll, Hardened Shield. We actually have the Deafening Blast on the Sylvanas. Hasn't really died too much this game, so it's understandable why she hasn't gone for the blink. And of course, but here comes the stage dive, followed by the Deafening Blast. Only hitting BKB. That's an immediate retreat, and they get nothing out of those 2 heroics.
Yep, absolutely. So they're going to be... not a great engagement there, but we're seeing a trap being set by ArthasS. We'll have to see if ArthasS do fall into that. They're moving forward. Nomi is a bit out of position. He does get caught, but in comes the rest of ArthasS. Nomi dives in, gets the stun onto BKB. BKB is getting focused down, but tanks most of it. Freezer popping that Viking longbow, trying to drop as much damage as he can. In comes the Judgment on to Coco Brown. He gets taken down, Hinterland Blast onto Unstable, but he was being shielded at the time, so he is tanking quite a lot of this. And currently, it is 2 to 1, or 2 and a bit, or 1 and a bit to 1. Andy Ledley chasing on to Freezer. Freezer jumping out with Balog. Balog is escaping. We did see Sylvanas go down in the back as well. Down goes Malfurion. And ArthasS able to take the fight, and they're going to push in for the win here. Falstad flying up. I'm not sure why or where. It looks like he might try a base race, but he needs to be.
Yeah, this is looking like it could be game here. Although Falstad could potentially put up a bit of resistance here. The core, of course, doing a lot of splash damage. Nice blink coming out from Unstable. Core down to 50% now. This is going to be the game. As ArthasS, with their composition, which is very reflective of their style of play. It's very funky, very innovative, and their double off support kind of comp worked for them.
Yeah, very much so. Very all-in style of comp that they went for. Just getting that engagement. And what we saw there was actually very nice. We saw them move away, and because of that fight, even though they retreated, we saw ArthasS use pretty much all of their heroics, except for the Viking Longbow. So the Viking Longbow was pretty much, and the Hinterland Blast, sorry, and that's pretty much all they had when that next team fight came around, and we saw a patient fight happen from ArthasS. They waited until the full engagement had happened, and then zoned out Coco Brown by using that judgment onto him in the middle of the team fight, which created the knockback, created a bit of separation in the team of ArthasS, and they just weren't able to deal with that, and their members just slowly got picked off. Sylvanas went down. It was a very nice engage by them.
Yeah, and I think one of the key things there was that ArthasS, they tried to force that engage as soon as they hit level 20, but ArthasS just backed out, disengaged. They essentially walked away from it unscathed, and then took a fight when they knew they had an advantage, and it was on their terms, and they won the fight, won the game from it as well.
Yep, very cool, very well played.
Yeah.
So, do they have an opponent? Due to the fact that they did actually take quite a while to set this